Let's talk about chronic cystic acne. I don't talk about this enough, but it came up in the video that I posted I don't know, last week or something about why I am no longer vegetarian. And that's a video definitely worth watching. It's a little longer than some, still under 10 minutes, but I cover a lot in that. So I suffered from chronic chronic cystic acne. When I say chronic, I'm talking decades long from puberty, probably around the age of 11 or so. It started to my early 40s. So 3 decades. And it's not like I just dealt, like it was just there and I didn't do anything about it. I mean, I tried everything. So starting at a very early age, I guess I should let me back up for a minute. In this video, you can tell I'm not scripted. In this video, I am going to share my history, my struggles with chronic cystic acne, how I tried everything under the sun and it would be suppressed, but it always came back with a vengeance, and how I finally cleared it for good, and how that the things that I did to clear my acne and get to the root of the acne also made the rest of my life better. Literally gave me a better brain and a better body and a better mood and more energy. Like all of the things. Can we say thank you more, please? Okay, so now we're going to go back into my acne history. So, starting at a very early age, and we were definitely proactive. My mom had me to the dermatologist. So this would have been in the 70s, like mid 70s, had me to a dermatologist. I was on, because she had acne as well, I was on every oral antibiotic, topical antibiotic. I was on Retin-A when it first came out, when it was a gel with a very high concentration. Literally, anybody who was on it, Retin-A, back at that era, that was probably early 80s, probably remembers having your skin bright red, looking like you like had major windburn or something, flaking, raw, all of the things. And then I went on Accutane, not once, not twice, 3 times. Yep, I was on Accutane 3 times. So I was one of the first people on Accutane when it was approved by the FDA in the early 80s. And so the Accutane did initially clear things up like nothing else had. It also caused all kinds of side effects. And I mean, from the dryness, literally my entire face would just peel, and that went on incessantly long after I was off of the Accutane. All kinds of things, excessive thirst. There was possibly some liver damage there. I later developed mono, like a really bad aggressive case of mono that affected me for a long time. So all kinds of things from the Accutane. And but it was lovely going into my senior year of high school, not having giant cysts all over my face, because I had the kind that, I mean, I remember this kid calling me pizza face. I remember just being so self-conscious. I remember, I don't know if I've ever shared this before, sitting in my biology class in ninth grade. Yeah, I did honors biology. Yeah, my biology class in ninth grade, and literally feeling, when they would like come to a head and pop, like I didn't touch it, just one of my pimples literally just oozing and pus coming out while I'm in biology and I'm trying to like blot it up so nobody sees my oozy skin. So yeah, it's very traumatic. I didn't want to, my high school had swimming as part of our PE. Like I was a great swimmer, but I didn't want to go in the pool because my makeup would come off and I was so self-conscious about that. I was using that Clinique like stuff that you would shake up, the oil free that also was supposed to dry you out. It was called like Stay Matte or something. I don't know. Anyway, like all these products that I don't know if they're still around or not. So anyway, the acne would go away. It would, be subside for a bit because it was suppressed was something, but it always came back. So even as an adult, in my late 30s, I went on my last round of Accutane. The dermatologist basically was monitoring things really closely, had me in a lower dose, and it did clear up my skin without being too drying or anything, because he was really monitoring stuff. But also, and Accutane is like, you, God forbid you would get pregnant or anything, it causes severe birth defects. So I was on every birth control, all the things. And but the dermatologist suggested that I stay on Accutane indefinitely. He said on this low dose, maybe stagger it out to like every 3 days. He said, think of it as a vitamin pill. Okay, Accutane is a drug. It is not a vitamin pill. So that kind of freaked me out. I went off of it. I was like, I'm not taking Accutane for the rest of my life. Well, then, of course, the acne came back. And that's when I started approaching, like, I'd been a vegetarian this whole time. That's when I started diving into the raw veganism, really cutting like everything out of my diet. And I thinking that if I just cut out more things and was more restrictive, my skin would clear up. Well, my skin, it was the opposite. The acne got worse. My anxiety flared up, probably because the acne was so bad and all these other things were going on. And my bloating, like I was like, had no, like so much less muscle than I do now, like weighed less. Like my arms were so skinny, but my belly was always bloated like a pigmy. Like this is not a good look. Cystic acne, bloated belly, skinny arms. Like, no, thank you. So you're like, Elizabeth, where are we going with this video? So anyway, I was reading all these raw vegan blogs and all these things and like, oh, let me try just having a nothing but cherry diet for a while because that cleared so-and-so skin. None of this stuff worked. In fact, my anxiety was getting worse. And then I was craving these like raw vegan treats made with like dates and cacao and all the stuff that were just making me crave more sugar, were probably making my skin break out worse. So what finally cleared my skin, and it started out with like a study that I read, and then just started building on this. But basically, I eliminated grains, which at this point when I was raw vegan were just like soaked and sprouted and all these things. Eliminated grains, eliminated sugar. I still had some fresh fruit, but I eliminated all those raw vegan treats with dates and dried fruit and stuff, and certainly processed sugar. I mean, now I have some dark chocolate from time to time, and I'm fine. And dairy was already eliminated. I've now been able to bring it back a little bit. I wasn't having coffee back then, which now I love my coffee, but I was like just doing all types of herbal teas. I was, anyway. As I started cutting these things out, like it's like, okay, at this point, there's nothing left for me to eat but fruits and veggies and, maybe some nuts and seeds. So at this point, I added in eggs, which were just felt so nourishing to me because they had been part of my diet before as an ovo-lacto vegetarian. Then started adding in to get some more protein, some bone broth, eventually some grass-fed ground beef. I had not had beef since I was like 11 or 12. And the way my body responded, first of all, just cutting out the inflammatory stuff. And I wish I had a timeline of how I did all this, but like my skin not only looked bad, it physically hurt. It was like inflamed. My face hurt. The pain in my face subsided within 24 hours. Within a month of making these changes, my skin was clear. My skin was clear. Several months down the road, I noticed that my anxiety had lessened quite a bit. And the bloating that was constant, the distended belly where I looked like literally a pygmy, was flat. And over time, it became easier for me to build muscle, like stay really lean and build muscle. The brain fog that I had started having coupled with the anxiety, they started having in my early 40s, which I was told was just perimenopause. Turns out that went away and never came back. Like menopause brain fog, don't know what that is. Menopause belly, nope, never had that either once I cleared up that bloating. So and then this way of eating, as I started adding in the animal protein, still eating the fruits and veggies and kept playing around with this, added more fatty fish, salmon, now I eat sardines, which that's something I had to kind of learn to love, but now I love. And not only did my skin just keep getting better, but it was easier to build muscle. It was like I had more energy, better mental clarity. My mood is improving, maybe because I look good too. It's like all this stuff feeds on each other. And my life kept getting better. And here it is, like a good more than 15 years later. And at 58, 5 years post-menopause, not only is my skin great. So I do have some light foundation on. It's like, look, I'm getting really close to the camera. There's no filters on my Zoom. I record this YouTube on Zoom and then I upload it to YouTube. I literally don't know how to add filters to my Zoom. So this is my skin up close. I am wearing a skin tint from like Maybelline, just some cheap stuff that I got at Target, but it's not even like a full coverage foundation. So that's what I have on my face. There's no concealer. Like things aren't perfect. I do totally transparent. I get Botox like here and here, a little bit in here. You can see there's fine lines. I do have some acne scarring still. My skin is firmer than it was in my early 40s, and I attribute that to the collagen. That's another thing that I added. Start using some bone broth, but that's something I have all the time. So I take collagen daily for firmer skin, stronger nails and hair, and a better body because we're not getting those amino acids typically from our food. So, and then I started taking better care of my skin, with like, because before I was using all these things to dry up and get rid of the acne, and now I'm just using skincare to help my skin look young and gorgeous. And I use an all natural line. I'll actually drop that in the comments, drop a link. So that's how I cleared my chronic cystic acne. I realized I was all over the place with this, but that's just kind of, once I start talking, it just all comes out. So drop any questions that you have in the comments. And if you like this YouTube content that I'm just really committed to bringing to you, giving you this slightly longer form video where I can dive a little deeper, please hit subscribe, share, all of the things. I am so glad you're here. Have the most amazing day. And believe me, if you are suffering from chronic cystic acne, it's never too late. It absolutely can get better.